Hey, I'm Sean, Head of Partnerships at Jargon. Today I'm going to show you how to easily make content changes in Jargon and create a release to make that content available for your application to fetch at runtime. So instead of having to retrain your NLU models and redeploy your application every single time you need to make a content change, and instead of digging through code and spreadsheets, you can manage your content in Jargon, and anyone on your team can go and quickly make a change and publish those changes and have them available for your application to pull. So I have an example application that's a live Raza app right here. And you can see that I've just asked it to give me the contact information for my company. And you can see that I'm using the old email address. Well, I want to go and change this to the new email address. So let me show you how this is done in Jargon. So you can come into the project that you have connected to your application and come to the studio. And on the left here, I can search through all of the responses that I have. And so I'm going to search for my contact information, which will search for the response name and the contents within the response. So I'm going to come down here and I see this is the response that I want to edit. I'll come and I'll click on this response component. I only have one variant. I can have the ability to have multiple. So I'll just come and click on this variant. And now I can change this email address to the new email address. And now it's prompting me to commit my changes so that this content can be in sync with the master and available to the other teammates that I'm working with. So I'm going to go ahead and commit my changes. I'm going to say here for my other teammates that I changed the contact information, commit. And now that this is in sync, I can create a release which allows me to publish the content changes that I've just made. So I'll come into releases and I'll create a new release. And now Jargon is running additional content validation checks to make sure that my content is compatible with the platforms that I'm sending it to. And if there are any errors, it will spit out those error messages to you to instruct you on how to go back and fix those before deploying. So now that this release has been successful, I can hit deploy, and I can also add some tags for this deploy to send it to a particular environment. So I'll say production here and hit deploy. So now that I've deployed these changes, it's available for my application to fetch. So let's go back to my live application, and I'm going to say contact information. And you can see the new email address here. So all of this took a matter of seconds as opposed to going back and digging through a spreadsheet that I have or the contents buried in code, and I need a developer to go and make the change and then redeploy the application, retrain the NLU models. All of this can be sidestepped with Jargon if you manage your content in Jargon CMS. So now that I have published these changes, I can go back to this particular response, and you can see a history of my changes here and compare and contrast to be able to see what I've actually changed. So that is how you quickly make a content change in Jargon and publish your changes, all in a matter of seconds. Check out some of our other tutorials for information on how to use Jargon. Thanks so much.